privilege for DCNR to be part of this, to be a sponsor. We've been long attracted to work in the Lehigh Valley, the Lehigh River, from the great leadership here, the great work you've done, and the vision you've created for your river, your watershed, and your region. I feel this conference, and looking at the conference this morning in my hotel room here, I think your agenda really captures the opportunities and challenges ahead of us at this point in time, and put together a wonderful agenda with all the right topics that makes this a watershed event in the true sense of the word, with the confluence of ideas, interests, and topics. DCNR has a special interest here in the Lehigh Valley. We've had a long time engagement here with wildlands conservancy, for instance, and the river's conservation plan. The state of the Lehigh, if you haven't read it, you should read it. Understand this river from top to bottom, if you spend some time with that. To develop our Lehigh Heritage Corridor, which has identified 165 miles of a trail, which is key for access and key for engaging people with the river. If you haven't read the Stone Coal Way, I've got a copy here, I'll show you, but it identifies the assets that bring people close to the river, close to the water. And the 165 miles, 98% in public ownership, I think that might be the longest stretch of river where the public has true access to the river itself. 130 that have been developed in trail at this point, so that's a true accomplishment for this region. Also, the strong leadership at the county level, John Cunningham, John Stokes, one of the tremendous staff of the Conservation District and County Planning Office, has made this area, the Lehigh Valley, particularly special. If you think about it, the Lehigh Valley is sort of self-identified around this river. What other parts of the state do you know that are so tightly identified with the river? Lehigh Valley. It's interesting, even in the planning world, if you look at these 10 planning districts across the state, the Lehigh Valley is the only one that's got just 2 counties. This is the Lehigh Valley. It's pretty special. We've got 5 state parks in the watershed. Kevin Fazzini is here. State parks, to tell you all about them. Most of them are up watershed. We've got wider state forests. So DCNR has a strong engagement with people, with particularly Lehigh boards, where people get very close to the river, in the river at times. Unique opportunity at this point in time, and I think I mentioned this conference really captures it. I think you've really hit on some of the challenges and opportunities we face today. One's global climate change, global warming. The work we do today has got to set us up for the future in the context of big changes coming our way to global climate change. Our challenges of engaging new faces in conservation, engaging more people with conservation of this river. Not to be critical of any of us, but this audience is too white. I mean, we've got to engage the people of the Lehigh Valley more deeply in the river. The future conference in the Lehigh Valley has got to have more diversity. The people of the urban areas have got to connect to the river and care about the river like you and I do for the future of this river to be viable. And the big challenge is sprawl and growth and development. We've done tremendous planning in this area. And to translate that planning to changes on the ground is going to take hard work and a lot of dedication and resilience for this group and people way beyond this group. I think this region, this watershed is really up to the challenge, and I think that for a number of reasons. You've got a strong base in all those areas of opportunity and challenge. You've got the Wildlands Conservancy, the endless advocate for the river, who does work on the land and the water side, and the Lehigh River itself, the Jordan Creek Parkway, Jordan Creek and the Kittatinny Bridge. You've got the biggest collection of environmental advisory councils, watershed groups, and other democratizing, engaging entities that help on the ground. I noticed the theme of this hotel is patriotism. I stayed here last night. The themes throughout the hotel is patriotism. But I think one of the greatest acts of patriotism and democracy is engagement with your neighbors and your community on what your future should look like. This is not glamorous work. You could call them the flip chart brigade. They're the people that are pulling out of their driveway in the evenings to go to a meeting while the rest of the world's planting their garden and watching TV. No neighbor ever thanks somebody for taking their time to go to these meetings and laying out plans and thinking about the future of the community, but it's truly patriotic work. It's truly democratizing work. We just got to bring it into the cities more, engage the urban communities with that great work. You've got the educators, Dan Kunkel, who educate anyone who comes anywhere close to Lehigh Gap Nature Center about the mountain. You talk about a comeback story. And to be honest, 10 years ago, I thought they were a little crazy, taking a scarred, burned place on the land and deciding that it can be a place of education and engagement, and to stay at it is endlessly educate, endlessly pull people in. You got Bill Sweeting, our Jacobsburg Environmental Ed Center, and the great work done there that's going to now connect with the work of Sadie Burworth and the people in the Bushkill Water Conservancy up to the Kittatinny Ridge, and endlessly working to engage people with nature, with vernal pools, with Kittatinny, with the headwaters. You've got Owens Mill in Bethlehem educating school kids about the value of the creek, about the value of their place in it. You've got Trexler Preserve, a great place to engage people. And then you've got a string of cities here with mayors that really get it, mayors that are working hard to connect their citizens to the river itself, to the work in the greenways, to the work in the wonderful, beautiful string of parks that Allentown has, the urban tree work in Easton, great work going on in Bethlehem. So you've got wonderful leadership in the city layer here. And also you've got a very civic-minded business community in the Lehigh Valley. This is one thing I noticed from Harrisburg. The business community in the Lehigh Valley is really supportive of conservation work. They get involved, they put up time, they put up money, they put up their good minds to conservation work here in Lehigh Valley, and that's a big strength. They get behind the efforts of the conservation leaders. I just want to end with a few thoughts on rivers. One of them has a little bit of danger of me getting a little emotional. The rivers are a great paradigm for life, and a great paradigm for our deep connection to nature. I'll tell a personal story. I had a chance to go whitewater kayaking in Costa Rica. I was there on an eco tour. My husband and friend and I decided to get into kayaks and go down the Cherokee River. It had rained 5 inches a day before. The river was raging, and first major rapid, I wiped out. And by the time I saw my kayak, it was shooting upwards over this big rock. I went down, got pinned. I was pinned facing upstream, and I was pretty helpless. Couldn't move. And I thought I was going to die. In fact, I probably was about to die. Couldn't breathe. I had the rare opportunity to know what to think right before you die. I had the most amazing thought. I thought, why couldn't I die in my own river, the Susquehanna? What's a river? A river I probably know. When I was to die, the river ethic runs deep in your veins, and I know you know it, and you may not know how deep you know it, but it's a wonderful paradigm for our life and for our work, and a wonderful way to engage new people in the conservation work at hand. I just want to end with a quote. Everyone probably saw the movie, The River Runs Through It, and I really recommend read the book as well. And it's by Norman MacLean. I just want to read one little passage from that. It's from the beginning of the book. As the heat mirages of the river in front of me danced with and through each other, I could feel patterns from my own life joining with them. It was here, while waiting for my brother, that I started this story, although of course at the time I did not know that stories of life are more often like rivers than books. But I knew the story had begun, perhaps long ago, near the sound of water. Thank you.